Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am the dynamic, daring, one-of-a-kind diva, Denise Silas, and excited to have you on yet another Let's Talk About It Tuesday. I'm excited about the conversation we're going to have tonight since we are leading ourselves up to the holiday season. So I'm excited about this conversation around food tonight. So before we get started, like I always do, I'm going to go ahead and um, let you guys know what's happening with Empowered by DS. I know with most of you, this may not be your first time. So if it is your first time on an Empowered by DS experience, please put it in the chat. If it's not, please tell us if you are a repeat offender, as I call it. So let me get this screen shared, walk you guys through some exciting things. I cannot believe, is there anybody else? Put it in the chat who are just as amazed as I am that we are in the last 2 months of the year. Like this is the second to the last month of the year. Like, where did the year go? Is anybody else asking that question? Or am I the only one asking that question? Like, where did the year go? Because this right here, I swear I felt like I was coming in the summer. Like we were just operating in our summer months. So we're almost finished with this 2025. How many of you started the year talking about I'm going to thrive in 2025? Did anybody use that expression, I'm going to thrive in 2025? Because I hope you have thrived and you're working on your last finish, like your last round. So let's get this going because I cannot believe we are at the end of the year. It's holiday season. Now, for those of you, put in the chat, do you have your Christmas tree up? And if so, please stop rushing the things. Stop rushing the things. Someone in my neighborhood has on their garage door, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And that was like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, girl, this is too early. It is not that time for that at all. Like, stop rushing things. So let's get going. Let's get going. Our guest will be jumping in just a moment. But while I am just walking you guys through some things that's happening, of course, for those of you who are new or be watching this video for the first time, and do know that all of our conversations are on our YouTube channel, Empowered by DS. So who is Empowered by DS? Myself and my two daughters. It is our mission. And I hope you guys really feel that this is what we are like, our mission stands clear. Like, you guys aren't confused what we are focused on. And we are here to empower women to be the best version of themselves in their current season. And why do I always focus on your current season? Because we know, they say you either going through something, came out of something, or in the midst of something. So in the midst of the something, I always want to encourage women to be what their best looks like in that season. So we're focused with that. We do that through our experiences. And we want to build confidence, build connection, and build community. You know, the one thing I love about doing things in community, it helps women to not only focus on themselves, but how they interact with others. So we do this throughout the year in various ways. So every week we are here with our weekly, Let's Talk About It Tuesday, unless we have a holiday or something special. But we have probably missed, since March when we started this, may have missed like 3 Tuesdays since then, you guys. So I'm excited about that. We have to get back to, we got a little bit off schedule, but we're usually doing our weekly devotional. Right now, I took some classes and it kind of threw my schedule off, but we're going to get back so we can finish our 21 most powerful minutes of a leader's day. So that's our weekly focus. Our monthly focus is where we are with our Divas Dinner and Dialogue. And I'll talk about what we have going on this Friday. So this would be our last Diva Dinner and Dialogue on this Friday. And then we have one more event in December. Quarterly, we have our quarterly breakfasts, and the purpose of those breakfasts compared to our Divas Dinner and Dialogue is more on professional and personal development. So we really dive into help women to establish, who they are, their gifts, their talents, and really throughout the year, how they can shine brightly in that and really maximize who they are. Then compared to the Divas Dinner and Dialogue, excuse me, guys. That's more your social interaction to build your confidence and community, how we work together with each other. Also, quarterly is our empowerment subscription box, and I'll talk a little bit more in future slides with that. And then yearly, we have a few things that we do yearly. Our April is our month that we do our retreat, whether we are doing a 1 day away escape somewhere or we're doing something locally. We do usually at least once a year a fitness challenge. We just finished in September our Feel the Tilling Your Hottest Heels in memory of my sister. I'll talk a little bit more about the adopted grandparent. And then our Vision and Victory is our last event we're going to have in December. And that's all about taking from what we said we want to do at the beginning of the year and celebrating, find ways to celebrate what we have accomplished, even if we haven't gotten ourselves to those final results and goals that we want. So that's what we are all focused on. And so our Let's Talk About It Tuesday for this month. Next week we have Carol Allen, which is one of my Mary Kay girlfriends, but I have just watched how she has kind of reinvented herself, redesigned her life in her latter years, from coming, from being an empty nester to having some things change in her marriage life, to how her business is. She lost her mom, just how she's really have made a decision to just redesign how she's going to live life and do life. And it's really exciting to watch. We've been talking about having a menopause conversation, and it's going to be on the 18th. So I hope you join us. And then we're going to take that week of Thanksgiving off on that Tuesday as we get ready to prepare. But in December, we have a great lineup where we're going to focus a lot about prayer and just really getting ourselves mentally in a good place to finish off the year, as we hustling, bustling through the holidays. So we have prayer. We have someone talking about just dealing with depression during the holiday season, as well as just how we balance it all and still be able to maintain sanity through it all as well. So that's what's coming up in the month of December. Our empowerment box. So if you find yourself right now, one, needing a pick me up for yourself to just give you a happy and give you some tools to be able to stay focused with our journal, or you may know somebody else that you want to bless with that experience as well. So look for us as a great gift giving item that if somebody who just kind of going with the flow, may need something to help them to kind of trigger, believe again, dream again. This our empowerment subscription box is a great tool for that. So remember us in your gift giving needs. So this is the time of year. We have been doing this for this will be our 12th year. So we do what's called the Adopted Grandparent Program. It started off going to actually a nursing home, and where we asked for donations from people in the community, my customers, and then we were able to provide a gift for our seniors. So we've done it in the first couple of years we were in seniors. So we did in Chicago, we did a senior home here in South Haven, we did one in Wisconsin, and then I came back to the Mississippi and did a couple more years. But then probably the 6th year in, we started working with the Sacred Heart Southern Mission. So it's an organization that deals with low income individuals, but I support doing the seniors with them. So these are seniors that live in their homes versus in nursing homes, which the difference is, at least the people in nursing home have people around them. A lot of times the seniors who are at home really are alone. So each year when I'm working on the project, a couple years I wasn't able to hit the target number. She says it still makes a difference because there's a lot of individuals that just don't get the quality of the gift that we give them as well. So I am seeking your support, from whether you just donate with one senior, you may have a company that will be willing to sponsor 10 seniors. It is over 400 every year. We went from 200 and now we're at 400 seniors, and it covers Marshall, Benton, Tunica, DeSoto, and Tate counties. So it's all the northern counties. So I have people from Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois that participate. So you don't have to be local to participate and make a difference for us. So each one add up. So 490 is our goal for this year as well. So if you're looking for a way to give back, we would love for you to participate in this with us. So Friday in November is our month to do our pop-up shop. So Friday, in addition to our traditional Diva Dinner and Dialogue, we'll be adding a couple other things to it. We have our pop-up shop that we're doing. So on Friday, instead of you coming and eating right away, the first hour we're going to shop and mingle, and then we'll eat while we're dialoguing as well. So we have that. And then if you have any young ladies in your life, we have our Queen's Corner where they're going to spend time with Miss Black Mississippi. So she's going to have some dialogue with them. She's been going to a variety of different places, being able to have that opportunity to pour into our younger ladies. And she's going to do that on Friday as well. So it is not too late to join us. I have it this one that you can join without dinner. So you can just pay the $15 and then and do it without dinner, or you can pay $30, enjoy dinner with us as well. But come and see our vendors. We have a variety. You see, from sangria to makeup to jewelry to some custom items to gift boxes. So it's a variety of items that you can shop, and so do some pre-shopping with some small businesses with us on Friday. So this one talks about that as well, just emphasizing that. And then check us out on Empowered by DS. I discovered somebody that I see all the time that she did not know that I did one-on-one coaching. So I do one-on-one coaching as well. Reminded that my background is I have a degree in accounting, as well as a leader in Mary Kay. Literally for over 28 years, I have been coaching before the word coaching became important. So I have always worked with people to help them set goals, to help them create plans, to really dig deep into what their gifts and talents are in order for them to maximize who they are. So whether that be a one session with you or multiple sessions with you, I can tell you, I can ask you a lot of questions and help you to discover some things. So if you prefer a more intimate setting versus doing the more group approach, check me out with that. Also, definitely do any group training. I love to do one to many, even more than one-on-one, because I think we all learn from each other as well. So doing that, and if you see if any opportunities to be able to share and speak, please consider with us with that as well. So check us out on Empowered by DS for all the things. And then last, if you are not following us on these various platforms, please do. If you see any of our posts, please share it. That will help us tremendously, as well as we continue to grow and get prepared for 2026. If you are not a part of our Facebook group, please be a part of that. And then if you join that Facebook group, please share any inspirational stuff that you come across, anything that you think that also will empower women, any conferences, workshops, anything that we want to make sure that we utilize those tools to be able to support each other. So join the Facebook group. So let's see, I'm not sure if she's on yet. Let's see. So one of the couple questions I was going to do, introduce her next, but see what she stop share. I can see better here. Okay, so she hasn't jumped in yet, so she'll be with us in just a second. So one of the questions that I tried to do a poll, but don't know how to ignite the poll. So I'm going to ask you a question. If you can put the answer in the chat, that would be great. So the first question is, if you, oh gosh, give me 1 second. Here you go. So when you think of whole body wellness, and then I'm gonna give you A, B, C, or D. So A, when you think of whole body wellness, do you think of just physical health, which is nutrition and fitness? Do you think of, that's answer A. B, do you think of emotional balance? That's just your stress and mindset. C, spiritual wellness, your faith, your peace, your gratitude, or all of the above. So if you can put in the chat A, B, or C. Oh, there she is. Yay. Okay, all over. Thank you, Kendra. Okay, okay, consensus that is all. Consensus that is all. Okay, next quick question. Um, how intentional are you about using food as medicine? Would you say very intentional, where you plan your meals around health goals? That's your A. B, somewhat, I try, but consistency is hard. That's B. C, not really. I eat what's convenient. Or D, I want to learn how to do this better. So A, I'm very intentional. I plan my meals. B, somewhat, I try, but consistency is hard. C, not really. I eat what's convenient. And D, I want to learn how to do this better. So what you guys got for me? I got a couple A's, couple of B's, a C. Thanks for being honest. Okay, so we got a little bit of mixer with that. And then our very last one, have you ever done a detox or cleanse before? Answer A is yes, and it worked great for me. Answer B, yes, but I'm not sure if it made a difference. C, no, but I'm curious to try one. And D, no, I don't believe in detoxes. So are you A when it comes to detox? I did it before. I did it. I'm not sure if it made a difference. C, I'm curious. Okay. And D, I don't believe in detoxes. So just kind of getting the feel. Okay, C, gotcha. Did it before. Okay, okay. Giving us a little bit of what we working with. So I thought did I see Miss Idra? Did I see her? Yes, there she is. All right. Idra, do I need to make you a co? Did you need to be a co?
As long as I can talk, I'm good.
Okay, so okay, good. So let me get you, spotlight you, and introduce you. Where did I lost you? Where you go? Oh, there. Let's go back over here. There she is. So I appreciate you. There we go. Awesome. So here, quickly. Nope, that's something. So let me tell you about Idra really quickly. So Idra Green is a wife, mom of three, and proud yaya to one sweet grandbaby. Her life's journey has always centered on serving others. A graduate of Winston-Salem State University, Idra earned her undergraduate degree in music business, merchandising, and management with a concentration in vocal performance. She went on to pursue a master's in music from the University of Arkansas, where she also served as a professor of voice. While living in Arkansas, Idra launched her first business through Mary Kay Cosmetics. Today, she serves the executive level as an independent sales director, coaching business leaders and empowering women as a skincare and color cosmetic specialist. Though her professional career blossomed in music and makeup, Idra's true foundation began in science. She originally pursued a pre-medical track with the intention of becoming an orthodontist, but after 3 years discovered that wasn't her calling. Still, her passion for science never left her. When faced with personal health challenges that traditional medicine could not solve, Idra turned to research, studying medical journals, exploring alternative approaches, and immersing herself in the field of herbal medicine. That discovery was life-changing. Not only did it restore her own wellness, but it also ignited a new calling to help others heal naturally. Idra became both an herbalist and a master herbalist, and out of her passion, Love Nature was born. Love's Nature is more than a business, it is Idra's heart work. She believes that God, our creator, loves us so deeply that he placed everything we need to heal and thrive with nature itself. Today, Idra is continuing her education, literally continuing right now at Virgin University of Integrative medicine, where she is on track to become a doctor of acupuncture and herbal medicine. Through Love Nature's, Idra combines science, faith, and the healing power of plants to help individuals walk in wholeness, balance, and vitality, just as nature intended. So, introducing Miss Idra, which we thank you very much for your time. So, I'm going to let you go ahead and take it away because I know you are on a time.
You are totally fine. I am good. Actually, we got out of class early today. Look at God. So, so I am here with you. I'm so excited to be in this space. Thank you, Denise, for inviting me yet again to come and speak to your tribe of women, to have an opportunity to share things that are really exciting and really big on my heart, how we can truly use food as medicine, and how we can truly embrace that everything is in our grasp, that there is everything we need in nature that supports our ability to heal. And so today I get to come and talk to you all about food. Okay, isn't that a fun topic? And I get to talk to you about food, and you probably are going to be so mad you logged on here. No, I'm just playing. But I am really excited about this conversation today. We oftentimes don't think about what we can do to support our own healing journey. And we only think about, going to your doctor and being prescribed a new medicine for whatever our various health concerns might be. But what we truly have as our first root of medicine is your kitchen. And so we're going to talk about that tonight. And so I'm excited about this conversation and looking forward to hearing your heart as well. So know that this is an open conversation. I'm going to share a lot. Feel free to talk back to me. In fact, I'm going to need you to talk back to me a little bit today because I would love your involvement. And so then I know you're listening to me. Okay. So I can't see your beautiful faces, so I can at least hear your voice or read your words. That really helps me with energy. I feed off of energy. And so that will be most helpful to me in this conversation as we talk about tasting the rainbow. So let's get into it, Denise.
All right. All right. Oops. I think I got one. Wait a minute. I got an echo. So, one of my questions to Idra was regarding the holidays. We are going to be approaching the holidays, and sometimes we get just a little bit out of control, right? So, Idra, what suggestions do you have around food that we can kind of still enjoy the holidays, but be mindful of some specific things that will allow us to still have a better approach than maybe we have in the past?
Mm-hmm. Sure. So this is the time that we are really considering how we celebrate, right? And let me preface this by saying I totally understand. Okay, I totally understand how you might be feeling moving into the holiday season. I know some of us are looking forward to the new year or the new us and all the things, right? And you're thinking about it. But you're also hesitant about what you're doing during the holiday season. And we're going to kind of bounce around a little bit, but I do want to go straight to your question about the holidays and talk to you a little bit about Thanksgiving and Christmas and this holiday season where we're gathering a lot, we're partying a lot, we're celebrating, we're being grateful, and we're enjoying food. Okay, we're enjoying food and our beverages. And so I'm going to talk to you about that.
Yeah.
And so first, I want to kind of tell you the lens from which I speak, because I think it's really important as you're speaking with a practitioner of any type, whether you, yes, the beverages, okay. Whether you're dealing with a Western medicine approach or Eastern medicine approach, you need to know who you're talking to. And so tonight, I am speaking more from an Eastern medicine approach. And so if you go to your traditional doctor's office tomorrow and you talk to them about some of the things I'm saying, it's really sad to say this, but a lot of what I might share with you tonight, they have no clue. I'm just going to just put it right there. And it's not because they don't have a desire to, it's just not the route in which they are trained. Okay. And so in Eastern medicine, we totally consider whole health, um, and your mind, your body, your spirit, everything is included. And so when you're thinking about the holidays, okay, so I just want to make sure that I kind of put that out there, like where I'm talking from an Eastern medicine perspective, which highly considers food. You also will hear me talk, and my language may change because I have varying degrees from different backgrounds. And so you may also hear me saying terms like intracellular healing. Okay, that's very much an African diasporic herbalism term. Okay, so you're going to learn some a new language tonight. So in considering food and Thanksgiving, when you're looking at your plate and when we kind of talk about the rainbow, this will all make a little bit more sense. So we're kind of jumping ahead in the conversation just a little bit. Okay. But when you're looking at your plate, you want to think about color. So when you get your plate of food, y'all just think about your plate of food. I'm about to make y'all hunger for just a second. Okay. You get your turkey and you have your chicken and you've got your roast and you got macaroni and cheese, collard greens, green beans. You've got candy yams, you've got rice and gravy, you've got dressing, you've got some of us call it dressing, some of us call it stuffing, depending on where you're from. I am from South Carolina. We call it dressing.
Dressing.
Okay. We all call it a little bit different, but when you think about it and just kind of get a visualization of that plate, dressing all day. Okay, you're with me. Okay, when you get a visualization of that plate, what is the overall color of that plate?
A lot of beigey.
A lot of beige.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of beige. I just want you to kind of put that in your
Mm-hmm.
pocket for just a second. um a lot of brown, a lot of tan, right, Camille? Right. So when you're thinking about that plate is telling you a story. Your food tells a story. And so as we're thinking about Thanksgiving and we have a lot of beige, a lot of brown, a lot of tan going on, there's not a lot of variety in that color palette with our traditional holiday plate. So when you're looking at, like, you go to the buffet and you see all the offerings, and of course we want to go to macaroni and cheese and dressing first because we don't eat dressing all the time, right? So we have to have it. I want you to think about this. Where's your fiber? Where is your colorful vegetables? Those should be first. So your greens and your rooted vegetables should be first. This season is very rooted, it's very grounded, and we're going to talk about what that means in just a little bit. But this is a very rooted and a very grounded season. And most of what's on that plate is not very grounded in the right way. So we want rich, fibrous, colorful vegetables should be the first thing that hits our plate. The next thing that should hit our plate, we should be thinking about some healthy fats because those help to give us stabilization of our blood sugar. So where is the healthy fat in your plate? The next thing we should be thinking about is how heavy are we with carbs? Okay. Are we having too much of a mixture, which most of that plate we just described is carbs? Okay. Are we using, or do we have too heavy of a mixture of our carbs? Do we have too much macaroni and cheese? Do we have too much stuffing? Do we have too much dressing? All of those heavy on the carbs. Yes, we are heavy on the carbs. And so all of those, what they cause is spleen and liver stagnation. In other words, sluggishness. That's a stagnation is a TCM, traditional Chinese medicine term, which basically means sluggishness. So it causes sluggishness to the spleen, sluggishness to the liver, which are very important for filtering our body. So if our filtration system is getting sluggish from just those heavy carbs, we've got to consider what else can we put on our plate. Perhaps we should consider a little bit more bitter and sour. When you're thinking about the tongue, there's different tastes that we get in our tongue. We've got sweet, we've got salty, we've got bitter, we've got sour. We have all of these tastes, and your plate should satisfy all of it. So when you're going with a carb forward plate, you want to consider bitter or sour because those help with digestion. And if you just think about Thanksgiving, what do we often have during Thanksgiving that's bitter?
Bitter.
Bitter.
Mm.
Begins with a C. Collards can be bitter, but that's not what we're thinking about. Cranberry. There it is, Erica. You won. Okay. You win. Now, a lot of times we think dressing, cranberry sauce. What we don't realize is the reason why that pairing actually helps is because the cranberry actually helps to cut and support digestion. Okay. So having the bitter with the plate is actually supporting your digestion of those. Yes, absolutely. And then enjoying, so when you're thinking about your food, you really want to think about enjoying food mindfully. And digestion starts with gratitude and being calm. You love cranberry, me too. I have to have cranberry. I have to have it's just a must. Okay. It's just a must. But it actually is a good must. Okay. So where some things aren't really the best must that we can have, cranberry is actually one of those that's really good, and it is a seasonal fruit, and it is a fruit that's really important right now, and it helps helps us with grounding. So when you're really thinking about your food, the first thing I want to say to you is energetic eating is helpful. So eating, being aware, and not being anxious. You ever notice you get your plate and you're so excited that you can feel the energy in your body? You want to calm it down, because if you are too overly excited, that actually alters our ability to digest. Little known fact. So if you just kind of settle back with your plate, take your time, slow down, and chew your food well, you're going to think about it now, because I'm going to share with you. I know we've probably heard this before, but when you chew your food and you put food in your mouth, put your fork down, I know you've probably heard this if you've ever gone to any type of dietary class, but I want to tell you why this is important, why 21 chews per bite is important. We have these little, in our buccal cavity or in our mouth, we have these little glands that kind of sit right here. And as we eat, and the number of chews, now you're going to pay attention when you're chewing. The more you chew, you start to secrete the enzymes you need to break your food down. Anything less than 21 chews, you don't get those enzymes truly coming in play. And so we want to get that chewing, the macerating of our food going, because it helps to release what we need to digest the food. So slow yourself down, have a moment of gratitude is the very first thing that you can do to help your parasympathetic system. So just slow down and enjoy it. Okay. Enjoy your food. It's also helpful to start warm. Okay. What do you have that's warm? You ever have like warm apple cider, or have a warm cup of tea, or have a soup? That's a great way to start and end your meal. So maybe consider bringing to the table some apple cider. That will help with your digestion and also help to warm your internal organs up that support digestion. That's also important. Again, color diversity, I cannot explain that enough, and we're going to talk about that, so I'm not even going to go there right now. And make sure you're pairing your indulgent foods, those richer foods, pair them with things that help to support your digestion. Another things you can have is ginger tea. And that's really helpful when you're having a big meal like Thanksgiving, a big meal like Christmas. So honor your cravings. That's probably a surprise that you'd hear me say that, especially with what I'll say next. Okay. Honor your
It's
cravings
better.
and ask yourself, why am I craving it? I have this craving, I have this hankering for something, but why? Why should always be a question we ask ourselves when enjoying our food. So I'm craving sweets. Awesome, have some sweets, but why are you craving it? That would point to your spleen. Okay, spleen might be a little sluggish, might be a little tired, might be overworked. We might not be eating enough nutrients to really work the spleen. The spleen is a very important organ. So that is, something we want to pay attention to. I'm craving salt. Salt points to your adrenals or your kidneys that may need some nourishment. So where can we get the nourishment for our adrenal system, our kidneys? I'm craving something crunchy. Okay, I want some chips. I'm craving something crunchy. You may need more grounding foods. We'll talk more about that. Or you may also need an emotional release. There might be some emotional tension when you're craving crunchy foods. So the holidays aren't really a time to punish yourselves. Truly, they aren't. With restriction, they're a time to practice harmony in your plate. And as we continue this conversation, we're going to talk about the harmony you can bring to your plate. If you fill your plate with color, include some fresh things with your grounding foods, eat with joy, your body will naturally find balance. So this season is really about balance.
Ooh.
Let me read the comment.
Yeah.
Was that your question? Did I answer your question? I gave it all to you.
So her question was, is it okay to have a dinner wine with her meal?
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay, so okay to have dinner wine with your meal. Depends on the person. If I be honest, it depends on the person. For some of us, yeah, totally fine. Glass of red wine, no problem. If you have some health concerns, and that would cause you to have restrictions with alcohol, like thyroid issues is a big one. If you have thyroid issues, you want to stay away from alcohol. It just is a thing, okay? But if you're gonna have it, okay, somebody's gonna get really excited. But if you gotta have alcohol, um, the better alcohol to have is actually tequila. If you gotta have it, Denise got excited.
Margarita.
Okay, the better one to have is tequila, but be careful what you mix it with. Okay, be careful what you mix
I
it
know,
with, because
Leslie.
that can then destroy it on the other side. But it doesn't cause as much, 1 ounce, is okay. We don't want to have half the bottle, of course. But it's the better option to go with if you want to have a cocktail. Tequila is the better route to go. A glass of wine, 1 glass of wine is okay, but again, it just depends on the person and everybody's constitution. In other words, your body and what it needs is different. Like the fruity one at Walmart. Okay, are we talking about wine? Are we talking about which fruity one?
I think that's a follow-up to her question. Maybe it was the fruity wine at
You like
Walmart.
is it a fruity wine or something?
Rita
Um,
to respond back.
Definitely a drier red is a better way. If wine is your thing, a drier red is better. The fruitier you go,
Okay.
um, the more sugar you have involved.
Go back to the tequila. Go back to the tequila. Of
Everything in moderation, you guys. Everything in moderation.
course.
That is always key. Everything in moderation.
Of course. So did you want to touch more on the taste the rainbow? I know I jumped right into it. I was like, let's
let's talk about Thanksgiving, right? It's on your mind. I know. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So, when we're thinking about where do I want to go with this? So let's talk about it here. And I want to go a little bit more into understanding whole body wellness, and that will lead us to the rainbow. When you're thinking about your food and using food as a healing mechanism or supporting, sustaining mechanism, we're really talking about harmony with the body's organs, your emotions, your mind, your spirit. So it's not just, um, you know, it's not just what you're doing to the organs. It's we've got to consider you as a whole being. Okay. And that's a new way to consider yourself when you're thinking about food. Food does have altering effects and releasing of different enzymes and different hormones based on what we take in. And so we've got to consider the whole body. When I'm thinking from my perspective, both holistically, from an African diasporic herbalism perspective, as well as traditional Chinese medicine perspective, everything you eat becomes part of your cells.
Ooh.
Everything you eat becomes part of your cells. It either builds up energy. In Chinese medicine, we call that the qi. So I know that's a term you've probably heard. It just means flow of energy. And in some ways, it means nothing. Okay. But it's energy flow within the body. It either builds it up or blocks it. And every part of us requires flow. Okay, when you think about your heart needs flow. When you think about your liver needs flow. When you think about your lungs, you need flow, right? So when you consider every organ system in the body, think about your blood vessels or your veins, you need flow. So it's energy flow, and it's either blocked or it's free flowing. And our desire is to have free flowing as needed. Okay. So how many of you have heard the term yin and yang, or yin and yang is how we say it here, right? Everybody heard that term?
I don't know.
Yin and yang, you've seen the little circle and part of it's white and the other part of it is black and it's got like two little dots. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Okay. So that is the root we consider in our medicine, that everything is reliant upon the other. In other words, day is reliant upon night. You can't get to the daytime unless you go through the nighttime. Okay. So when you take that concept and you think about that with your body, it leads you through every part of our body, every cell in our body, every nerve in our body needs flow. And that flow comes through intracellular support and healing, which basically needs nutrient dense foods that restore your cells communicating with one another and your detoxing pathways, which are where true healing truly begins. So food is not just about calories, y'all. Not about calories in, calories out. It's about information. Food is information to your cells and energy for your organs. So then when we think about food in that way, I want y'all to tell me what some colors mean. When you think about certain colors, just kind of tell me what they mean to you. When you think about the color red, what does that speak to you? When you think red.
Are you saying what foods come to mind, or are you saying just
Like when you think about red, do you think vibrant? Do you think lively? what words. Hot. Okay, I see that. Red hot, red heart. Uh-huh. Spicy.
My first thought was sauce, like a red sauce.
Sauce. Okay.
If I'm thinking of
Energy. Okay. So when you're thinking about your food, colors point you somewhere. Okay. So in the chat, put what foods come to mind when you think of the color red. And I'm going to tell you about emotions and function. The color red in our medicine means circulation. The color red in our medicine means vitality. And the emotion connected to red is joy. Okay. And so the color red is your heart and your small intestines. Your heart and your small intestines. So the food that's connected to red, we got hot sauce, red apple, watermelon, cherries, very good. So foods that you might want to employ for this season might be beets. Beets are a very powerful food that is connected to the color red that supports your heart function. Also strawberries, cherries, tomatoes. Those are all foods. They're connected to the color red, but they also support the function of that color or the organ system connected to the color, which is the heart and the small intestine. So the color red, from your healing perspective, okay, improves oxygen flow and cell energy, mitochondrial support. That's what the color red is for. Supports your cells and oxygen, heart, small intestines. Okay. Now let's think about the color orange. Orange or yellow. We'll put those two together. It depends on the person. So Leslie, so when we're thinking about foods, we have to think about everybody's constitution, and you can have a similar disease, different treatment, and you can have the same treatment protocols for different diseases. I may be fine with tomatoes, you might not be fine with tomatoes, but it's dependent upon your body's constitution and what your body is needing according to your own individual concerns. Okay. I can eat tomatoes, they do nothing for me, they don't bother me at all. But someone else might not be able to handle tomatoes because of their digestive system and how they process them. So it depends on the person and their body constitution. It's not a one size fit all with food. That's a great question, Leslie. Okay, so orange and yellow. What do you think about what emotions or thoughts do you have when you think about those colors? Peace. Peace. Okay.
think of calm and yielding.
Balance. Bright. Yes. This is good because orange and yellow are grounding and nourishing colors. Grounding and nourishing colors. Now, when you find yourself worrying, you need more vegetables that are orange and yellow in color. You find yourself worrying, you need more vegetables or more nutrients that are orange and yellow in color. Orange and yellow points to your stomach and your spleen. That's why it tastes bland. So examples, orange and yellow. Sweet potatoes, carrots, squash. Those are orange and yellow. Those are orange and yellow. Hold on one second, you guys. Okay. So squash, sweet potatoes, and carrots, all root vegetables that we can eat during this time of the year. They enhance digestion and nutrient absorption. That's what their healing focus is. Okay. Color green.
Go.
Go. Yes, go. I love that. Go. Anybody else? Any thoughts about the color green? Love those. And they are great roasted. Yes, they are great roasted. Green is renewal and detoxification. Digestive, very good. I love that. Very good. Pamela. Um, green, renewal and detoxification. So that's your leafy greens, that's your herbs, my favorite, and your avocado. Okay. So those help to cleanse your cells, support detox pathways. If you find yourself angry, you need more greens. Find yourself angry, having a frequent feeling of anger, you need more greens. Okay, color white.
True.
White. Clean and pure. Thank you. Clean and pure. That's good. And I love that because the color white is for your purification. Cauliflower. Yep. Letting go. Very good. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all, green is the liver and the gallbladder. Liver and gallbladder are the organs that are impacted by green vegetables, green things. Okay, the color white, garlic, onion, cauliflower. Okay, they boost your immunity and cellular defense. So this supports your lungs and your large intestines. The color white, your lungs and your large intestines. Stay away from potatoes, okay? No potatoes, okay? But unless they're sweet potatoes, we're good with those. And purple potatoes, those are good too. All right. If you find yourself grieving, having a feeling of grief, hanging on to grief, white, the color white vegetables. Okay. Last color, blue and purple. Blue and purple. What does that make you think about? Purple, blue. How about wisdom? Relaxation. That's a perfect word because, hey, Bianca, that's my cousin. Okay. Rejuvenation. Okay. Blue and purple, rejuvenation. So grapes, blueberries, black beans, those help to restore deep cellular hydration and repair. And so the organs connected are your kidneys and your bladder. So your food gives information. I hope that you can see how these colors are telling you a story and they're pointing you in a direction. The lack of color, the lack of healing. Okay. So when you eat colorfully, you're feeding more than your taste buds. You're literally communicating with your organs and your emotions. Okay. So nature, God truly designed foods with specific pigments to support certain body functions. So red foods strengthen your circulation. I literally have a glass of, what is this? Can y'all see this color? It's red, right? Hopefully it looks red on your end.
I thought it was tea.
It is tea. This tea is called a TikTok tea, and this is a cellular repair or a heart support tea. I drink it every night. So every night around this time, usually I drink a little bit earlier, but I was in class and I said, "Hey, can you bring my tea up here? Because I'm late." Okay. But this really helps to support my respiratory system and my heart. So if you have respiratory issues, if you have congestion, if you have heart issues, circulatory teas that have hibiscus, have hawthorn berry, those type of things in there really help to support it. But I also put a couple of little additives in here for some uterine health, because that's a little area that I need a little bit of help as well. So red dates I like to put into my tea as well, that supports my uterine health and the flow in my uterus. And so y'all, you can taste the rainbow, but you can also nourish your body with what you're taking in every day. So, as nature has designed it for a purpose, know that this red food, right? This is to strengthen circulation. Green foods detoxify the liver. Purple foods nourish longevity and cellular repair. It matters. Your colors, they do matter. They do matter. I've been drinking chamomile tea before, but yeah, that's really great for relaxation. Chamomile, lavender, kava kava, great herbs that you can have that help to support relaxation. Valerian root, great herbs that support relaxation and deep sleep. Really good deep sleep. And you don't feel drunk when you wake up in the morning. Y'all ever take something to help you sleep at night and you get up in the morning, you're still sluggish? When you drink a good herbal tea, you can get good rest, but you are rejuvenated in the morning without that kind of like groggy feeling from taking some of those medicines that help you sleep at night. Colors. So I hope that helps with colors, opens your mind to thinking about the colors that you're taking in.
That was good. Where do you want to jump next? Because you answer it. The hormonal concerns.
Hormonal. Okay, let's talk about it. We're women. We're going to talk about women's health a little bit, and how we can nourish ourselves with our food. And so in our medicine, in traditional Chinese medicine, and in herbal medicine or holistic medicine, we truly pay attention to balance. And so if you run hot, there are things you should have. And if you run cold, there are things you should have. So if you find that you're always cold, in TCM, that's traditional Chinese medicine, we call that yang deficiency, which basically means that we aren't getting enough flow through those parts of our body that need movement. Okay. If you think about your whole body, these internal organs, we call them yin organs, and our extremity organs, we call them yang. Okay. So we have a yang deficiency going on when you're always running cold. You're not getting the movement that you need in those organs. So we want to choose warming foods. Anybody always cold? Have any health concerns that make you get really cold at night? You can't ever get warm. So you want to choose some warming foods like ginger, cinnamon, garlic, onions, oats, squash, warm cooked vegetables, roasted vegetables, all support warming up the yang in the body. And that's really important that we are warm if we are run cold. Adversely, if you run hot, you got hot flashes. Okay. If you have a lot of hot flashes, right? Denise is like, yes, Lord. Okay. If you're having hot flashes, then you want to do the opposite. You want to choose cooling foods. Yes. Okay. M. Clark says, yes, Jesus, yes. Okay. So you want to choose some cooling foods like cucumbers, melon, mint, celery, tofu, berries. You want to, sorry, Denise, avoid alcohol. Okay. Fried foods and spicy foods, right? So you want to avoid the things that warm you internally, warm you, and you want to bring in the things that help to cool you internally. So your body temperature tells you a story too. Just like food, your plate tells you a story. It gives communication to your cells. Your body temperature tells you a story, and your food, the things that you take in, help to balance and not intensify. If you are already running hot, the last thing you want to do is warm your internal temperature too much. Okay. So you want to cool it down to help support cooling internally. And the same thing on the opposite side. If you're always running cold, you want to be careful that you are not smoothing all day long. Like if you're running cold, you might want to, if you like to start your morning with a smoothie, you might want to let your smoothie sit for a little bit. That brings it up in temperature, and then take it. You might want to consider a smoothie bowl versus a extremely cold smoothie with like ice. You might not want to do a smoothie with ice. You might want to juice fresh vegetables and fruit. Does that make sense? So knowing what to consume based on your body's constitution also supports you in this process. So when we are having varying female issues, we have to know what to eat and when to eat. Like for instance, for those who have like PMS, it's really good to have sweet potatoes before your cycle. So one of the things that I like to make before my cycle comes on to really support my luteal phase is sweet potato brownies. Sweet potato brownies. And so I make my sweet potatoes, and then I put in my cacao powder, and that gives me that chocolate that I want, right? Because we crave what? We crave chocolate a lot during our cycle. Well, if you know your cycle is coming the week before, if you put in the cacao, not cocoa, if you give yourself cacao, then you get the antioxidants. And then the sweet potato nourishes those organs, and it helps to curb some of those PMS symptoms. So again, knowing what to eat, when to eat, according to what your body's constitution is calling for, is very helpful. And so that is one that I really enjoy doing. And it's guilt free because I alter how I fix it. Like I don't put eggs in it. I put, and that's me personally because I prefer a more vegan diet. But I like to put flax in, and flax seeds are really, really good for you. And so I use a flax egg. But if you like to use eggs, you can, and eggs are good for your uterine mucus. Is really good for you as well if you eat eggs. So you can use that, and then instead of using sugar, using honey or using date sugar still gives you some of that sweetness. But you've got the nutrients. You can even use your walnuts. Walnuts are really good for your system as well. So just knowing how to give yourself what you're desiring, but in a healthy way to support whatever your organs are actually calling for, helps you through the process. So as women, our bodies are very complex. We have the most complex system, the most complex system. In fact, the female body does way more than the male body does, and that's a whole nother class. But understanding that our body calls for something different every throughout our 28-day cycle. And just because those of us who've had hysterectomies, just because you don't have a hysterectomy doesn't necessarily, or you've had a hysterectomy does not necessarily mean that your body is not still calling for various things on a cycle. Okay, especially if you still have maintained your ovaries and just removed the uterus, or you still have one ovary, whatever it might be, know that your body is still calling for something, even if you're no longer cycling or still having a menses or menstrual cycle. So just knowing how to support the body as we cycle is really important, and knowing when to cool it and when to warm it. It's the harmony. So think about harmony, even down to I'm feeling hot. What do I need? I need something cool. I'm feeling cool. What do I need? I need something warm. And starting every meal, if you have a salad, have a cup of tea. That gives you balance, because the salad is cold, your tea is warm, and that helps you have harmony in the body. Okay? A lot. Take a deep breath.
This is
Take
good
a deep
information.
breath.
Really good information. Yeah, one last thing. I know it's after the hour, you guys. But give us a thumbs up if this is information that's valuable. So our last piece that we talk about is as a master herbalist, and talk about detoxing. When is the best time? When do you know you should do it? And you hear about all these different ways to detox. What would be the best thing to look at, to consider? What do you need to consider?
Sure. The best thing to think about with detoxing, detox is for recovery, it's not punishment. And a lot of times when we're thinking about and we hear the word detox, we all of a sudden are automatically think extreme restriction and I'm on punishment. And that's not its purpose. Its purpose is to nourish, and it's to repair, and to recover. So there are seasons where we need detoxing. Thinking of detoxing as like spring cleaning. You're spring cleaning your cells so that nutrients can actually be absorbed. Our body is constantly inundated. You go outside, you smell chemicals in the air, you're taking that into your system. Those are toxins that are damaging your cells, and those that damage causes the need for cellular repair. We are probably one of the few countries that doesn't believe in some form of continuous detoxification. I know in some parts of Africa, when they start school, you come in for the fall and you come in for the spring, they take their students through a detox to start school. We don't even practice that at all here, right? And so that's important that we think about the level of toxic load we take in through our food and through what we inhale. The largest organ is this beautiful skin that we have, but we don't understand its function, and we don't understand its role in what we are internally embracing. It's our shield. And if that shield is being inundated and we're not doing anything to support what's happening on the inside or what we're taking inside, we've got to consider how do we best support the body. And so I am one who believes in some form of a detoxification process seasonally. Deep breath. Seasonally. And it doesn't mean that you're taking a long process seasonally, but you do want to give yourself a moment to breathe, okay? A moment to process. I think it's really good twice a year to do a deep cleanse. Just like we need to deep cleanse our house, we've got to deep cleanse this house, right? This vessel needs support. And if you've not done a full body work, it's important that we do, because after a while, and Denise and I have had this conversation, but we send up little signals, and we have these little red flags that our body throws, just like a car sends you a light when you need an oil change. Our body sends us signals that we oftentimes ignore. We ignore the constant sluggishness. We ignore falling asleep after we eat. We ignore, I feel a little tired, but I slept for 8 hours last night. We ignore, I'm overly thirsty. We ignore, oh, my stomach has been doing something a little extra, gripely, that's going on, a little extra gurgle happening. We ignore, I'm not using the restroom 3 times a day. We actually should have a movement with every meal. We ignore these things. These are all signals that tells us another story of what our body needs. And so I believe that it's important that we do take our body through that process of supporting its desire to heal. So things to consider as you're looking seasonally at your body. In the springtime, your liver and your gallbladder are really calling for detox and renewal. And so those are the organs that kind of start to exhibit the need. In the spring and the summer, the heart and the small intestines really start to exhibit the need. We get rooted, right? During this season, the stomach, the spleen, the large intestines, and lungs start to call for it. You ever notice that as soon as the seasons change, you start finding more people having issues with colds? We have flus that start to flare. It's because the lungs are calling for a process, a healing, a detoxification. And so when we are going through and we're looking at our body and what it needs, pay attention to the cues. If you're not feeling enough rest, then your kidneys and your bladder are calling for detoxification. If you're getting sick often, that's your liver, your lungs, and your large intestines. So I do believe that it's important to go through a detoxification process. I think once a year, we definitely need a full body overhaul. I like twice. I personally do twice a year, but at least once a year. And then you can kind of do like a little 7-day reset, right? At the top of every season, a little quick little reset and give your body what it needs to go into the new season, and pay attention to the vegetables and the fruits that present themselves to you, and think about their function and what they do for your body. And they tell you a story. They tell you a story. And so if you just pay attention to nature, nature is always speaking, and it's communicating with us. We need to do a better job of listening and receiving, because God definitely supplies us with what we need. We just say, I don't like that. I don't like how that tastes. It's that we don't know how to prepare it. We don't know how to work with it. But there's so much healing in what God presents to us every single day, and what is presented to us in nature seasonally, that tells us what we should be embracing in that moment. And I think if we spent more time allowing nature to love us, which is the reason why my business is called Loves Nature, allowing nature to love us, then our body in turn will exhibit love back to the world. And so I hope this has been helpful, and I hope that you can understand the importance of detoxing, and we can continue this conversation as well. But I do understand that we have been here for an hour. And we do want to honor your time. But this has been so much fun, being able to share. And I'm here to answer any questions you may have as well.
You guys pull up on the screen so you can capture her information to follow up with her. But does anybody have any questions? Let's let that sit there. Anybody have any questions? Any ahas? Anything that stood out that's gonna make you get your life right? I know for me, one of the biggest things that just how you associated the foods to the organs, like all the pieces. Because sometimes, we pay attention to something, but we don't know why that happens. And then we stop paying attention to it, right? We just normalize it. So I know I got a lot of notes. And when you were saying about, if you're tired, if you're this color, and just relating them to red. And so that was very informative to me. Really, really informative.
Good.
So
Good.
So make sure you take down her information. Is there anything you want to share with them about your website, your, connecting with you?
Sure, you all are very much so welcome to connect with me. This is a portion of what I do, and I have the awesome privilege of working with a lot of my clients, teaching you how to use food as medicine, also how to embrace herbal supplements and nutrients to help support your overall function. And so I do guided healing processes with my clients and work with various healthcare concerns, whether it's just overall wellness or diabetes support, high blood pressure, heart concerns, cancer, you name it. I have clients that we strive to help you. Your body express what it desires to express, which is healing. And so I do not and I will not ever promise that I can cure anything. Okay, that is not my job. My job is to help you understand your body and how you can guide it to healing. I hope you caught that, what I just said. Okay. So you're welcome to reach out to me. My phone number is there. You can send a text message, just as I did before. Some of you may have been on that first session that Denise had me come in 2 months ago, and I will offer the same because I know these conversations are public on your platform on YouTube. I'll offer the same to those of you that are here. You are welcome to contact me, and when you do, you will receive your a consultation, and that consultation is free. Where I help walk you through um, any supporting questions or concerns you may have with your health. And so that is normally not free, but in this time, I think it's very important that we understand how food and herbs truly are here to help support our healing. And so I am excited to offer that to you. Denise has had a consultation with me. She can tell you all about it because I'm sure some of you know her personally. But you will be able to get together with me and I kind of help walk you through what healing can look like for you individually. So I look forward to getting to know you. Just send me a text message and put in the chat. In the text, just put taste the rainbow so that I know that you were on this particular call. So you have the code is taste the rainbow, and that text will give you a consultation with me and we'll talk through whatever your individual concerns are with your health.
Awesome.
Awesome.
I think so. Well, the night has come and gone, and thank you again. That information was so good, so good. Appreciate that. If we can, when we know better, we can at least try to do better, right? So,
Right.
but it also just made me be more aware of um, being intentional on what types of vegetables and what types of fruit and stuff like that I should eat. And then just being mindful of that whole warm in the beginning. So I thought it was very, very good. So I hope they did as well. So you guys, what is that date? The Thanksgiving and the holidays are coming. So make sure you remember what she said in regards to our balancing out our plates. And I am going to just show my last screen here. There it is. So always remember, we're on here not just for ourselves. We are empowered so that we can empower as well. We are our sister's keeper and a share. This recording will be on my YouTube. So go ahead and share with somebody that you think needs to have a better understanding of their eating lifestyle. And maybe this can be valuable to them as well. And as well as all the other recorders are on there as well. So thank you guys. Have a great rest of the night. And if I don't see you on any of the other Let's Talk About It Tuesdays, have a happy Thanksgiving as well. So I appreciate you, Idra. Have a good night.
Welcome. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.